So today we're going to talk about how to visit an art museum, which may seem like an easy enough thing to do. Step 1, go to museum. Step 2, look at art. Step 3, hopefully get something out of the experience. But the other week when we were filming in Kansas City, Missouri, I paid a visit to the Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art and started thinking it's really not so simple. If you want to have a really rewarding trip to a museum, there are some tricks. First, wear sensible shoes, because you do not want to stand before this gorgeous HELEN FRANKENTHALER painting only thinking about how much your feet hurt. Also, before you even go, you should check the museum's website to make sure they're open, and most importantly, to figure out if there's any way you can get in for free. If you can get in for free, do. Luckily, the Kemper is always free. When you check in at the front desk and hopefully find a way not to pay admission, make sure to get a map. This is also your chance to ask the attendant what you shouldn't miss, which brings me to something important. Ask people questions. It's okay. They actually want you to ask them questions because otherwise work is boring. Okay, so some general pointers on how to behave in the galleries. Assume that you cannot touch anything unless there are instructions stating otherwise. This is not because people who run museums are autocrats trying to harsh on your buzz. It is because even the oil on your skin can damage the art. If you're not sure whether you can touch something, ask a guard. They want you to ask. They will be thrilled that you have asked. Speaking of which, also feel free to ask about the museum's photo policy. Many museums allow photography, so your surreptitious "I'm just checking my email, no I'm actually taking a secret pic of this Warhol" may not actually be necessary. When I take photos in galleries, I like to also take a pic of the label. It's a good way of remembering later what you saw and handy when properly attributing your photo when posting it online, which you should never forget to do. Sometimes I like to first walk through a show without taking out my camera or even reading labels, just letting my eyes and brain do the work. Then I'll go back and take a longer look at works I find interesting or ones I might want to take a pic of or notes about. When you watch a video in a museum, make room for others coming in. This means not spreading out your jacket and bag on the only bench and also not lingering in the doorway when there's plenty of space to hang out inside. Also, don't be afraid to go into dark galleries. There's good stuff in there, and it very rarely bites. And then there's the actual business of looking at and experiencing the art. There are no rules here. You decide what to look at and for how long, and whether to read the wall labels offering context or whether to use the audio guides. You also decide whether to look at all the galleries or only a few. And all of these decisions should be guided by what's working. What makes you feel emotionally and intellectually engaged? Is it helpful to know that someone once tried to lick this Wayne Thiebaud painting? Or do you just like the visual pleasure of taking it in? Like a lot of things in life, what you take from a museum experience is dependent upon what you put into it. I think it's great to go to museums and experience that which you might be skeptical of, but mostly I think you should go to museums. They're not cold, dead places where people smarter than you look at ancient art in hushed galleries. Museums are for you. They are cultural centers where your relationship with the universe can get better and more interesting. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, don't forget to leave the museum. Staying overnight is frowned upon. What are your personal do's and don'ts for museum going? And what have your museum experiences been like? Let's talk about it in the comments.